Good morning. Welcome to our Terrific Tuesday, a day of learning. And I'm very, very happy to know that today you will learn something beautiful and incredibly believable, something that I was actually waiting for all of us to realize our own potential. But nonetheless, before that, we have our many other books unfolding. So let's wait for the magic to begin. And let's start our morning with the power of dreams. Let's manifest our dreams with some fluid movement. So thank you, Rahul sir, for the music. How wonderful. More power to our dreams. Let them all come to fruition. Let's start our morning with Luke Cotino and let's see what we are being guided for our bodies to keep them more non-toxic and to make them ready for our spiritual journey. So let's learn because it's very, very important that we have a nice trinity of a mind, body, and soul, all in alignment for our journey to begin. So we read about detoxification of kidney. We talked about its importance. Today we're going to talk about lungs. So of course we have a chart also for this, and I will be sharing the chart also. So Diwali season is around the corner, yet you can plan whatever you can. So let's read about the power and how to go about it. Later, of course, you will get notes also. So chapter number 33, lifestyle number 33, detoxify your lungs. You may wonder what your lungs have to do with weight loss. The answer is everything. The more oxygen you inhale, the more there is to reach your cells and improve metabolic activity. So if you have seen BMR जो होता है, कई लोगों का कम होता है, क्यों? They're taking shallow breaths. So if you take longer, deeper, conscious breaths, you are going to increase the BMR. Why? Because oxygen is going to reach your cells all across your body. Plus, with healthier lungs, you can completely exhale most of the CO2, which otherwise gets trapped between cells, thus slowing you down. Remember, elimination of toxins is everything when it comes to weight loss, good health, and strong immunity. The following 4 techniques help expel the toxins in your lungs. Outlined below is a plan for your entire day. Lung detox portion. Soak 1 tablespoon methi seeds in half a cup of water the night before. Drink 250 ml of water, warm water with lemon and a dash of cayenne pepper in the morning. Drink the fenugreek water and chew on the seeds. So you have to chew on them and they're not bad at all. About 10 minutes later, consume 2 cloves of crushed garlic with 1 tablespoon raw or manuka honey. Second is steaming. After having the garlic, boil some water in a large bowl. Add 5 to 10 drops of pure eucalyptus oil or 1 drop of peppermint oil. Cover your head with a towel and inhale steam for about 5 minutes. Gentle, deep inhalations and slow exhalations. Have breakfast as usual. So for this, even the steamers come. If some of you have those facial steamers which use them for your winter inhalations, please go ahead and do that also. Have breakfast as usual, but add 300 ml fresh carrot juice with 1 teaspoon pure cold pressed coconut oil or extra virgin olive oil. So yesterday we understood the science of having carrot juice. Because it's fat soluble, it does need some fat. So we're adding this 1 teaspoon so that it is better assimilated and digested in our body. Third is a magic lung breathing exercise. Now, keeping a gap of 30 minutes between breakfast and exercise, we have to take a standing position. Keep your arms at your sides and feet slightly apart. Relax. Take a few deep breaths and exhale through the nose. Now, breathe in through your nose and exhale slowly through your mouth. And you cannot exhale, but you can't exhale anymore. But do not stop here because there is still some air remaining in your lungs. Force your diaphragm to exhale all the air by wheezing. Exhale several times through the mouth by repeatedly making the sound ho, 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 ho until you feel there is no more air in your lungs. At this point, you will feel you have pulled in your belly towards your spine. So if you all do this with this position, it's very comfortable and you'll actually feel that now there's absolutely zero air in the body. You just feel it's all come out. Now slowly inhale into your empty lungs, fill your lungs with air completely, and then hold your breath for 6 seconds, counting the times slowly. Again, exhale through your mouth until there is no air left in your lungs and repeat the ho ho sound to expel the stale air from your lungs. Repeat the whole procedure as many times as you like. Besides purifying the lungs, this exercise strengthens the stomach muscles and makes your skin look radiant as you have helped remove excess carbon dioxide from the body. So this is very doable, very easy, and it's okay to do it indoors and not outdoors. It's absolutely okay. Fourth, the magical tea. This has come in before also, and it's coming again now. Post the breathing exercises, prepare a liter of the following concoction and have 1 cup water. So you just need 1 inch a piece of ginger, 1 teaspoon of dried ginger powder, cinnamon stick, half teaspoon of tulsi ghee, fresh or dry, basil leaves, they're the same actually, 1 teaspoon of oregano, fresh or dry, 3 peppercorns, 2 crushed elaichis, optional, 1 to 2 cloves of garlic crushed, 1/4 teaspoon fennel seeds, 1 pinch ajwain, 1/4 teaspoon jeera. Boil all of them in 1 liter of water for 10 minutes, simmer it out, strain it out, and sip warm water. You can keep sipping it as it is. If you like to sweeten it, you can use either the pure honey or jaggery if you want. But even without that, it tastes very nice. For the rest of the day, follow the schedule. You can also add saffron to this if you like. It has a good taste. So after about 30 minutes after lunch, have 250 ml of lemon water with a dash of cayenne pepper. 2 hours later, have 300 ml fresh carrot juice with 1 teaspoon cold pressed coconut oil. We've all read about that. 30 minutes later, we do the magic breathing exercises. Then we have followed by a cup of lung tea. They go for a light walk or do yoga anytime in the morning or evening. 30 minutes before dinner, we have 250 ml of lemon water with cayenne pepper. Along with this, you can have a regular meal, of course, but a light meal, not like a heavy meal because you've done so much. So please make it sattvic khana, like very light as possible. Have 300 ml carrot juice at dinner. Now, about 30 minutes after dinner, have 1 more cup of the magic tea. About 1 hour before bed, take steam with 5 to 10 drops of eucalyptus oil for 5 minutes. Also apply a castor oil pack or rub for 30 minutes. Use good quality castor oil, warm a cup of it, soak a flannel in it and squeeze and apply over the chest lung area. Keep for 30 minutes at least, 20 to 30 minutes. You can even use a heat pad over it to loosen chest mucus. You can also just rub warm castor oil deeply and gently into your chest area and lie down. And then put 2 to 3 drops of this oil in your belly, button or navel area. Add some oil with a 1 to 2 inch long perimeter around the belly button. It will automatically soak in. Before going to bed, do the magic lung exercise and meditate. Now, this is something just looking too much, but yes, if you're not home, it's not possible. So either you choose a Sunday or a day that you're at home, and it's really magical even for children. If they have mucus now, winters are setting in. This chapter is something all of us can save because the minute you have a cold and cough, if you use this detoxing of your lungs, you don't have to have any kind of medicines. You don't even have to wait. Otherwise, it takes 3 to 4, 5 days to heal. But the virus comes out so easily in this particular fashion, in this particular chapter. So thank you so much for showcasing this chapter. So this is about a body where we are detoxing our lungs. So it's going to help us in overall growth and becoming a better version of ourselves. Yesterday, we began a chapter which is amazing about laser accurate priority planning. We also talked about time management in a way for this. We also talked about how we knowingly, unknowingly waste our time, while away our time, which is not planned, but we have been doing it. Today, we are going to talk about the point number 2, which is on 241 page, the last point. Number 2, you don't plan and prioritize your day before it starts. The second reason time gets away from you is because you don't plan and prioritize your day twice before it begins. Most people enter each day haphazardly, figuring that they will simply do whatever it takes to handle each event as it comes their way. While this approach is very easy, it follows our natural inclinations. It is also very inefficient and extremely less productive. Think for a minute about the last time you went on a vacation. When did you decide where you were going to go, how you were going to get there, what you were going to do there once you were there, and when you were going to return home? All of those important decisions were probably made before you climbed into your car or went to the airport. You had your schedule all mapped out. You had thought of most or all of the things you wanted to do and the people or places you wanted to visit. You knew how you were going to get there and when you were going to return. If we did not even know what we were doing in the holiday, at least we knew the in and the out time. That was planned, right? And that's for a holiday where there's absolutely, so now if you go to a place like Goa, probably you just want to chill in the hotel, and that's all right. So if you are the kind of a person who's okay with your time being wasted like this or not planning, it's okay. The same holiday, if you were taking Europe or somewhere overseas where you're traveling a couple of hours there, you would actually plan it. At least you will plan the cities within the European continent. So this is a similar priority we should give to day-to-day exercises. If not too much, at least a ballpark chalked out idea of it. Think of how ridiculous it would be to show up at the airport the day you are leaving for your vacation without any of that figured out. The man behind the ticket counter asks you, "Where are you going today?" Imagine the look you would get if you said, "Good question. Let's try and figure out that right now." Now imagine the amount of valuable vacation time you'd waste if you continued deciding what to do and when to do as you were confronted by each choice. So it's not like people like this don't exist. I do have a couple of friends who are just couples and not, they don't have children, they don't plan to have children. They go on such holidays. They go to the airport with the money, the passport, having it, and they're like, okay, we'll go wherever ticket is comfortable, jo flight time milega, jo bahut expensive nahi hoga, we'll just board the flight and we'll go. So one thing is they always spend more money. Why? Because if the same ticket is available 50,000 bucks couple of months ahead, it'll be for 80 or 90 at the last minute. All right. So people are wasting resources. People are wasting time. Time is the most precious resource we all have because time is the only constant and keeps changing every single second. Now, as ridiculous as that scenario is, it is the way more than 95% of all American adults start and face each day. No wonder they feel out of control. What makes this even more ridiculous is that none of these people approach their vacations in that manner. All of the major decisions are determined and planned out in advance. All of the major decisions need planning and we must do it much importantly. So for if we have something important coming up, we have to understand that they have to be done well in advance. But if we want to gain control of our life, then we must remember that effective planning is the only way, prioritizing that is the only way before we start each day. Now, I'll show you how to do that in a little later in this chapter, says Stephen Scott. Now, a lot of people are afraid to plan their days because they think that doing so would greatly limit their freedom. They believe that their days are filled with so many urgencies that there's absolutely no way they could plan around them. They also think they don't have time to plan the day. Well, it's a lot easier than you think. It only requires a few minutes of your quiet time and the right planning tool. Effective planning gives you more freedom to effectively handle a day's urgency, no less. Your time is stolen by time robbers. So first thing we've seen is whether we believe or whether we don't, it's very, very important to plan our time ahead. So even for daily activities, it's nice to plan the day prior that tomorrow, this is what is my agenda, ballpark idea, if not the time planning, at least. So at least you know this has to be done throughout the day. Number three, our time is stolen by time robbers. Now, what are the time robbers? The third way time gets away from you is that it's stolen by what America's leading authority in time management calls time robbers. These are those activities, those events, circumstances that break into the day and steal time or attention away from doing what is most important. Below is a list of time robbers that are identified in the Franklin Covey Time Management Seminar. Are any of them familiar? Check those that steal time from you. So this is something we have learned in our business course as well. It's coming to us again in this chapter. It's beautiful. So the time robbers could be your unexpected interruptions, such as anything. It could be unplanned phone calls. And there are some people who have all the time in the world to talk to you for, they call it for a minute and they take you half an hour. So whatever you planned gets delayed. Requests or demands of others, just randomly, if they come, sign this check, do that, or do this, which is not scheduled, they'll take your time. Mistakes of others, equipment or failures, poor communication, improper planning, inadequate listening. So this is what we discussed even yesterday, that somebody is speaking to us, but our mind is either in the past or in the future. So we are not listening to them adequately, and hence you're like, oh, can you repeat? I didn't get that. So even that is that, or poor communication. हमारे दिमाग पे इतना कुछ चल रहा होता है that we think we've said it, but we actually haven't communicated. So it's very important whenever we communicate something important, we ask the other person to paraphrase. Okay, what did you understand? Once he or she is in the right picture, it's okay. Conflicting priorities. For me, this is important. For you, that is important. And that's just not working out. Lack of self-discipline. Meetings. Now, what is self-discipline lack? For example, I have to do something, but I don't do it for X, Y, Z reasons. I've slept late, so I'm not waking up in the morning to do my reflections of my business or planning something or chalking out. Or discipline is something we can learn. It's a learnable science. That's something all of us should have. If you don't have it, we really can't go much. And so we can go ahead in life, but we'll not be able to get our goals and our tasks done if there's no discipline. So very, very important. Some meetings which just randomly come up, and sometimes which meetings are planned, but they're not chalked out. Even the meeting time is not chalked out. So they will become elongated. Unrealistic time estimates, lengthy phone conversations, shifting priorities, my mistakes, bureaucratic red tape, indecision, socializing, personality conflicts, unwillingness to say no, involvement with details, failure to delegate. Why did they say socializing? Socializing is great, right? We all need it. But if it's planned and you know you're doing it great, if socializing becomes a habit of every other day, it's going to be a time robber because it takes away the discipline of your daily routine. So people who socialize 5 times, 6 times in a week, there are people like that. They can't wake up in the morning in time, then they're wasting precious time. Socializing in limit is great, but not in limit is not great. Indecision. So people who are indecisive are often found procrastinating. Such people are really dilly-dallying and they waste a lot of time. And we have to know when to say no. Most of us want to become people pleasers. We can't say no. But if something is not meant for you, just say, I can't do it. There's absolutely no harm in that. When we start doing all of these, we'll realize that our time is with us and it's not robbed away so easily. Now, although time robbers like these may break into the day, there are some very effective ways to prevent them from stealing your time. And we will look at those a little later. So what do we do? Number 4, you allow urgencies to take precedence over priorities. The fourth way time gets away from you is by letting urgencies, those events that demand your immediate attention and action, take you away from your priorities. They may be totally unimportant, but they still jump out and you say, I want your attention and I want it now. Phone calls are perhaps the best example of this. You can be in the middle of a critical conversation with your spouse, your children, or a business client. And no matter how important that conversation may be, if the phone rings, you stop everything and pick up that phone. This is literally letting the tail wag the dog. If you are to take control of your time, you must begin to recognize that urgencies are like people who cut in front of you in a line. So we have to change the page here. They may think they and their needs are more important than yours, but they aren't. You can begin the call to tell your urgencies, take a number and go to the back of the line. You procrastinate and move the most important things off until later. The final way you let time get away from you is by procrastinating. Just as you let urgencies cut in front of the line, you put your priorities in the back of the line. So the urgencies are always dealt with immediately and priorities are nearly left until later. Unfortunately, for most of us, priorities later never comes. Hiram Smith, one of the founders of Franklin Covey Companies, says people usually procrastinate important activities for one or more of six reasons. First, they sense no urgency for the activity. For example, what kind of urgency do people attach to playing with their kids or having a meaningful conversation with their spouse? And yet, even they do not sense any urgent need to engage in these activities, they are far more important than many of the other activities they may engage in when they have come home. This is something people are not giving attention to and a priority to because it's not so important. They think, "Aaj nahi game khela to it's okay." But that game khelna with your family, spending time with them, reflection time, just you and your quality time with your family is the most important. Why is it the most important? It is operating out of a world of love. If you can't love yourself or your immediate loved circle, what kind of person are you? This is the maximum priority taking thing, but it's the least in the terms of priority. Okay, it's all right. We can compromise on this. So please get your facts straight. Hand in hand with this reason for procrastination is Hiram's second reason, namely that people don't see the value of doing a particular activity at once. So what if I don't play with the kids tonight? I'll do it tomorrow night. They won't care. Wrong. The next reason people put off important activities until later is that they are not fun or pleasant, or they are outside the comfort zone. Most people are dying from cancer today than ever, not because they're unable to effectively treat cancer, but because people don't take the time to get regular physical checkups. It's no fun spending half a day once a year taking a thorough physical checkup. And yet, can anything be more important than health? Hundreds and thousands of people die each year from cancer, heart disease, strokes, because they don't take time for physicals or didn't quickly see a doctor when they first experience symptoms. Procrastination is truly a deadly habit. Have you ever been put off beginning a healthy diet or a consistent exercise program? Of course you have. And so have I. They're not fun or pleasant. And we sacrifice our health because of it. आज नहीं कल से वॉक शुरू करते हैं डाइट आज से नहीं कल से शुरू करते हैं वी ऑलवेज डिली डालिंग वेटिंग अच्छा टेस्ट अभी नहीं बाद में करवा लेंगे इट्स ओके बिकॉज we don't realize that health is wealth. We have not been taught that. Body is the only place you live in. So it's supposed to be worshipped. But all of us, including me, we don't give that a priority. Everything else, business first, family first, this first, what about me, my body? That's the most often neglected. The last two reasons we put off important activities is a lack of knowledge and a fear of failure. I'll call that client tomorrow. The last thing I want right now is a rejection. So you not only put off that call, you postpone a possible success. If you're going to achieve your dreams, you must effectively deal with your natural inclination to procrastinate. One tip that Hiram gives for overcoming the tendency to procrastinate is to do those things you're likely to put off first. By scheduling them first, you not only get them out of the way, but you're free to do those things that are most fulfilling and fun without the weight of the guilt, dread, or fear that comes with procrastination. So how many of you related to all the 5 points that we have read? Do we keep procrastinating a lot of things which is mentioned in this? Can we take a reality check and put them back in alignment so that we don't give these things negative weightage or we just don't keep them in the back of the list when they're so important? Have we thought of it, how much we are on the wrong side of our life? Things which mean so much to me are not a priority to us. Yeah, correct. Almost all, a lot. Why? Because सोचा ही नहीं, किसी ने कभी बताया ही नहीं. Probably आज पहली बार reality check हो रहा है हम सबका. Because ये बुक हम शायद पहली बार पढ़ रहे हैं. That's because this is the way life is. But the beautiful part about life is that we can all take a grip of it at any time, any age. A lot of us think when we grow older in our 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, we think, अरे अब तो मेरे chunk of life खत्म हो गई. अब क्या सोचना? अब तो निकल गए. नहीं, even then it's a beginning. So the same children that you haven't spent time when you were young, as parents, if you're spending that time now, even now it's worth it. To make those bonds, even now it's worth it. To do things that you have loved, even now there's time worth it. To get out of your comfort zone, even now it's worth it. To look after your body at whichever age you're in is worth it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter you have 30 extra pounds, 30 extra kilos on your body. It doesn't matter. At least let's start. That's the entire crux. At least let's not keep dilly-dallying even now. If not now, then when? So let's take control of our time. How do we do that? Let's take control of our time is a relatively simple thing to do. And yet less than 5% of the population does it. Why? First, we don't recognize the importance of it. Second, we don't know how to do it. I hope I've shown you that taking control of your time is critical to achieving your dream. पहली बात तो dreams will only be possible if we have time in hand. नहीं तो कितना भी हम कर लें, time ही नहीं है तो dream कैसे पूरे करेंगे? फिर dreams पूरा करने के लिए हमने simply कहा था, we have to divide them into tasks and goals and timeline. Without timeline, without that, no dream can become true. It will only be a dream. So tangibility is very important. Now let's focus on how-tos. It's not complicated, but it requires learning a few techniques and using a daily planner the proper way. Now, 7 steps to getting the greatest return on your most limited resource. First, let's force ourselves to focus on the present. So we talked about this yesterday also, that we are always living in the past or the future. 90% you will find here. So how many of you saw yesterday that you were not living in the present and you like focus or you slap yourself back in the present? Did you do the exercise yesterday? We thought of it, doing it to analyze our thoughts every day. You did that and you realize that you were not in the present. So that's something we must force ourselves to focus on the present by saying the word focus or giving yourself a little thing or something, whichever you want. We talked about this earlier in this chapter. Keeping our mind focused on the present and refocusing it to the present anytime you're aware that it has drifted into the past or wandered in the future is critical to your productivity and attentiveness to others. आप एक बार focus कर बोलोगे भी focus and फिर भी you'll drift again back. Again focus, again drift back. Again focus, again drift back. That's how the mind is. 86,400 thoughts a day. Oh my God, it's faster than computer. You must have heard it. That's how the mind is. But don't scold it. अरे फिर तुम अलग चले गए. It's okay. उसका काम है अलग जाना. आपका काम क्या है? Consciousness and awareness से रहना, उसको वापस align करना. Recenter, rebalance, realign. Sometimes take a deep breath in, then that centers you, balances you, aligns you. And takes how long? 3 deep breaths, couple of seconds, couple of minutes, that's it. A technique that has been very helpful to me is having a pen and a daily planner with me at all times. When my mind starts to drift, I can quickly jot down the distracting thought and make a note to come back to it later. That instance frees my mind to free focus on the present. You can use this and any mental or physical technique that you can think of to help you keep focused and refocus whenever necessary. As I mentioned earlier, I use a mental image of my right hand slapping me in the face and mentally say the word focus. So that's something all of us can do. आधी बार दिमाग कहाँ divert होता है? अरे ये करना था ये नहीं किया. And then you start thinking about ये करना था जो नहीं किया. So what Stephen Scott says is, if you're using your apps on your mobiles or you have a physical copy, just write it down. Okay, this is what took my attention and I must address this. Immediately the weight of your mind is shifted. Number 2, take an inventory of your time. According to a national study, the average American adult watches between 35 and 56 hours of television per week. That is a staggering amount of time, especially in light of the fact that those same adults work on an average of 40 hours per week. And yet, as staggering as the statistics is, When people are told about that average, nearly everyone instantly says, no, 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 not me. I was in the same bracket when I read this book. I said, no, not me. The fact is that time passes so fast when you're watching something on that idiot box, and most of us have no idea how we really spend each hour. Now, in this, please include even your WhatsApp, your Facebook, which is there, which is now there. When the book was written, it wasn't there. If you start taking inventory of that, you will be amazed at how much time you're wasting. If you take a simple inventory of how you spend each hour of your day for 7 days, you will be amazed at what all you'll discover. What do we do for doing this? We take two charts or notebook paper or a yellow pad that are similar to the time inventory form on page number 247. On the right hand side, you can see it. On the first chart, take 15 or 20 minutes and fill in how you think you typically spend each hour in your typical week. And circle every hour block that is an elective block of time. That is the time that you can choose to fill with anything you like. Now, use the same second chart with your everywhere that you go for 1 week. And this is not the good time to do it. Abhi Diwali Dussehra ka time chal raha hai, so abhi to it's not the right time. But if you want, you can do a ballpark idea if you're not very, very active. And once every few hours, fill in what you actually did in the preceding hours. So it's like, to-do list and actually done list. So what have you done versus to-do kya plan tha? Once again, circle all the hours that represent elective blocks of time. If you find that 1 hour blocks are not sufficient, you can break your log into half-hour segments. The final step is to compare your guesstimate in the first chart with the actual log on the second chart. A simple exercise will help you identify blocks of your time that are truly effective or elective blocks. So what are you electing in that block? What did you elect and what did you do? Now, what should you elect and what should you do will come after your analysis. Number 3, replace good uses of elective blocks of time with the best use of that time. After you have identified your elective blocks of time, you will have the means to replace good users of time with best users. You can fill those blocks with activities that reflect your highest priorities and complete the task of your most important dreams. So every day, did I inch a little more in my journey of dream is something that I have to ask myself. Is my dream a health goal? Is my dream a wealth goal? Is my dream some other goal? And have I done something more? And which elective block have I used to actually come closer to that? Similarly, with when you say spending time with family, what games can I play that will make me go bond closer with the feeling of happiness? Or which games I should not play where the child may cry when she or he loses? We as parents can think so much about the right games that we play and sometimes make them win also, or sometimes make them lose also, because we need to make our children also know that, okay, you have ups and downs in life. It can't be like always an up. They should be used to the fact that they can lose. So this is going to be a very beautiful use of your elective block of time when it comes to family. Similarly, for your goals, what are you working on? Number 4, delegate every time consuming activity that can wisely be delegated. First thing is, we all think that, oh, I like rock my world. Oh, I'm the one who can do everything perfectly. Others can't do it as good as I can. And that's the reason we do not delegate. But it's so important to delegate. A lot of people don't hire chauffeurs. They drive themselves. But if they realize the potential of spending that 17, 20,000 bucks a month on a chauffeur versus the kind of work they do sitting on the backside is incomparable. So very, very important to even start delegating smallest little things. Now, once you have done that, you realize towards the year, during the year that I've been in business, I've heard it hundreds of times, maybe even thousands of times. It's usually offered an excuse for not finishing something on time. When someone offers this complaint as a regular basis, I usually ask to see the pile they are under. Without exception, I can find hours of time consuming details and activities that could easily be delegated to someone else. People often sacrifice a single, most limited, irreplaceable source they have in order to accomplish something that could be delegated to for a few dollars an hour. Remember, dollars spent can be replaced, time cannot. Delegating unimportant or non-critical Activities is the easiest and most effective way to add 100 hours to your 24-hour day. So I don't know how many of you relate with this. When we did the business course, we were taught about this here, and our coach used to call it ROTI, return of time investment. That what time are you investing in, what and what returns are you getting out of it? Vis-a-vis that time which you are wasting on something not important being done by somebody else with much lesser money that you have to pay. Penny wise, pound foolish is most of us. That's how we become. We don't even realize that this is robbing our time. It's not helping us function. It's not making us do so much. And we are living in a world where, oh, I need the best. I can do so much better. Not realizing that delegating them, and if they're not even doing a 10 on 10, they can even do a 8 on 10 is much better than you wasting the time and doing something unimportant. So today we'll stop at this by analyzing where are we? What all is wasting our time? How can we see that what is scheduled, what is not? How much time are we spending on our Netflixes or our Facebooks or our Instagrams or Twitters or emails or whatever? Even people check office emails all throughout, but you're supposed to be doing that in a block of a time. Okay, this is my email checking time. Not all the time around. Like email aaya jawab kaya. No, at times. This will make us so much more time, better time managers. Tomorrow we'll start with fact number 5. Until today, let's think and ponder over what we've learned today so that we can take it further. Time for sun salutations to take the blessings of the sun and this beautiful time that all of us are waking up in the morning for 5 minutes of some movement. And for the ones who are elders can easily, Surya Namaskar can be done at any age, but if you can't, do the chairs Surya Namaskars. I'm happy, Shalu. I'm very, very happy to hear. So I have got back to Netflix a bit, but it's about an hour a week. So not more, no addiction.
The Surya Namaskar with mantras. Om Mitraye Namaha. Om Ravaye Namaha. Om Suryaye Namaha. Om Bhanave Namaha. Om Khagaye Namaha. Om Pushne Namaha. Om Hiranyagarbhaye Namaha. Om Marichaye Namaha. Om Adityay Namaha. Om Savitre Namaha. Om Arkay Namaha. Om Bhaskaray Namaha. Salutations to the universal friend. Salutations to the resplendent sun. Salutations to the energy that induces activity within us. Salutations to the one who illumines. Salutations to the sun moving across the sky. Salutations to the giver of strength. Salutations to the golden cosmic self. Salutations to the Lord of the dawn. Salutations to the son of Aditi, the cosmic mother. Salutations to the benevolent mother. Salutations to the energy that we praise, and to the one who guides us to salvation. The sun salutation now with the names of the postures, both in Sanskrit and English. Pranamasan, Hastuthanasan, Padhastasan, left leg back, Ashvasanchalanasana, Parvatasan, and hold this position, and now slowly progressing into the deeper version of Parvatasan, Adho Mukh Svanasana. Ashtang Namaskar, Bhujangasana, Parvatasan, left forward Ashvasanchalanasana, Padahastasana, Hastuthanasan, Pranamasan. On the right side, prayer position, raised arms pose, hand to feet pose, Right leg back, equestrian pose. Mountain pose, hold mountain pose, and slowly moving into the deeper version of mountain, the downward facing dog. Salute with 8 limbs. Cobra. Press back to mountain. Right forward, equestrian pose. Hand to feet pose. Raised arms position. Prayer pose. One round of the sun salutation with awareness on the breathing. So exhaling our hands to the chest, pranam. Inhaling as we bend back. We exhale as we fold forward. Left leg back, inhale as we're arching back. Exhale into the forward. Hold the breath for knees, chest, chin. Inhale as we arch back. Exhale into the forward. Left leg forward, inhale. This is a back bend. Exhale whenever we bend forward. Inhale as we bend back. Exhale, hands to the chest. And on the right, deep breathing. Exhale. A deep inhale. A long exhale. Right leg back with an inhale. And exhale. Hold the breath. Inhale. And exhale. Right leg forward with a deep inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale.
All right, great. We've done our sun salutations. Now, the time for the best part in this beautiful book that we are going to be reading and understanding where are we in this journey of ascension, of shifting our energies and moving towards something which is beautiful. Also realizing that why have we been guided by a couple of authors in our journey at this time and we were ready for it. So we yesterday talked about the very fact that the more light, so we talked about, I'm going to summarize for those who probably haven't heard. So there is a supreme light. So the final God, whatever image you want to give it, images are different, but it's actually nothing but light. Where he is where energy is, where light is. Even in that realm, there are 7 realms, which we talk about, heaven or hell. So the people who've done a little gross activities as a human are there in the lower realm where their body is a little heavy. And these body as in the soul is a little heavier. Even the soul has weight, right? And these are the ones that are attached to a human body like you and me. If our own aura is broken, so their energies come on to us. I even spoke to you that when this author of this book, Dr. Sunny Satin, he died, he was healing a woman who had 18 different souls in living in her. So their presence was there because they were in the lower realm. And she broke her aura, so they came in very easily. We even spoke about if we start seeing the light, these auras can't come onto us unless and until we have invited them or we're okay for them to stay in us. Like per se with me. At the moment, I'm comfortable with my brother's soul living in me, latching onto me because it's furthering its purpose and I'm comfortable. So also so much to say that it's crazy the kind of weight I put on since January till now, because I'm allowing his energy to stay in my energy. It's not very great, but yeah, that's a decision I've taken on my soul level. So I'm saying that we should be very comfortable with where we're living, but be sure the minute you have any fatigue, the minute you have anything which is not human, which is anything which is not light, please understand that we must tell our body, whoever this belongs to, I send it back. Because it's not your energy. Anything, अगर आपको गुस्सा भी आ रहा है, it's not your energy. It means you've allowed in that time for your aura to be broken. Simply use a mantra. I surrender this to Mother Earth, or I surrender this to heavens above. Whoever this energy is, I allow it to go back. I send it back because I am cured and healed. Now, this light is coming to us through a channel where the 7 people had come. In Hindus, they say Mahasaptarishis. In English, so many more terms and names. The 7 bodies had come. Under that, there are pyramids. Now 5 people make a pyramid. So we understood till yesterday that 144,000 people have been enhanced through the neural world, and the triple one receiving masters who further got a pyramid of 5 people. So energy पहले receiving masters को आती है, उसके थ्रू light workers को आती है जो नीचे आते हैं. अब हम इसको और understand करते हैं. The crux of the chapter is we start from 266, the first line, which is the last line of the one we read yesterday. The more light that they send, they as in the highest being, the more effective the dark forces influence dissipates. So jitni light aayegi, utni darkness khatam hogi. Now a gradual build-up of the receiving network. By the year 2003, all the 111 receiving masters were placed properly on Earth. These 111 masters are placed across the globe, across the Earth. It's not like a country में saturation होगा. And the strong connection with the dispatchers had been established. However, the physical bodies of the receiving masters had to be prepared mainly by activation of their DNA to receive this much higher level of light than the human body was capable of handling. Hence, the network nodes or the receiving masters were activated in a phased manner as their individual DNA activations reached the required levels. For example, if I am a receiving master, my DNA will gradually get elevated. If you are a master, yours will get elevated, and that time you will get activated as a receiving master. By the end of the year 2005, all the 111 receiving masters had been activated. So this is my book. I'm sorry for the scribble. So I believe that Nitya Shanti, my teacher, is also receiving master. I truly believe that. Then the dispatching masters gradually kept increasing the light. So these are the masters which are receivers, and they keep dispatching it. Now, how do they dispatch it? The increasing light worker connections. The 144,000 light workers are supposed to connect to the network through the nodes to complete the lighting of the planet Earth, which will finally dispel the dark force. As each additional light worker join the network, it is like an additional light bulb being turned on. Obviously, the more light bulbs are turned on, the more light there is. The 144,000 light workers all made soul agreements to play that role. On a soul level, before they reincarnated on Mother Earth, they all knew that their work this time in this life is to be spiritual, is to be there in this world of light and to help people see the light when things are going bad and dark. However, some of them got too entangled in the established ways of society to play their light worker role. उन्होंने एक्सेप्ट तो कर लिया था कि हम करेंगे, यहाँ आके सब भूल भाल गए, forgot from spirituality, got on a different path, and they forgotten that they're the light workers. So now what's happening? Secrets revealed, stories unraveled. As more and more light comes in, the darkness automatically disappears. Secrets and truths, which could be hidden in the dark, are being revealed in the light. So my note was that people like Rhonda Byrne, people like Louise Hay, people like they have brought so much of light to our lives. So they could be the again the connectors, or they could be the receiving masters. Could be, I'm not sure, but I feel they could be. Now, as the truth is revealed, the made-up stories are coming unraveled. Many and more people are losing faith in the authorities in every area of life. People are increasingly realizing that they have been fooled by the authorities for far too long. And they're now starting to question things that they have taken for granted before. It is happening worldwide. This is happening in the business arena, as seen as the cases of multinational companies such as Erin and Hewlett-Packard. This is happening in politics, as noticed as the fall of politicians, political parties, and governments in various countries. If you look back in our country, Congress was the one everyone was voting for. All of a sudden, what's happening? We start questioning them. Okay, this is not going to happen. Why? Because all of a sudden there is light. This is happening in the military industrial complexes where war-making machines also. It's in the trumped up claims of Iraq's possession of weapons of mass destruction. This is happening in the healthcare field, as evident from people in the US spending more money on alternative medicine than on traditional medicine. US is a country with the highest spending on healthcare. It's happening in the education field. Universities around the world are seeing declining registrations and have to compete for students by marketing themselves, whereas vocational and alternative therapies education is growing by leaps and bounds. आप देख रहे हो पहले engineers, doctors, कुछ 4-5 architects, these kind of fields were there. All of a sudden, there's a boom in the alternative vocational studies also. People are making a career out of, you've never heard of it, now it's happening. All of a sudden, therapies are coming up. Okay, अब तबीयत भी ठीक हो जाती है थेरेपी से, डॉक्टर के पास जाने की जरूरत नहीं है. People can even deliver babies with hypnotherapy, water therapy. You don't have to go to a doctor for a cut or normal thing. You don't have to go. So alternative therapy education is growing by leaps and bounds. This is happening in the career field, as evident by more and more educated and qualified employees leaving their corporate jobs and security of the paycheck by choice to spend time on activities that they enjoy even when they make much less money. So you must have read of this book by the monk who sold his Ferrari, or you may have known about Nitya Shanti. These guys are all in the corporate world getting such a good job paycheck. All of a sudden, they through all of that. What do they enter into? Spirituality. Now they're loving what they're doing. They may be making less money, but they're loving what they're doing because this is a reality check for them. This is happening in the energy field, as evident by an Irish company putting out an open invitation to all scientists in the world to test and verify their free energy machine that operates on the principle of intersecting electromagnetic fields. This is happening in the environmental field, as evident by a number of Japanese auto manufacturers designing non-polluting autos and do not use internal combustion engines. Now you see the cars that are coming up, automated cars that are coming up, and they're working on electricity and not even on the fuel, right? Things are happening. This is happening in religion, as evident by continuous revelations of sexual abuse by priests and evidence of suppression of old texts and gospels. This is happening significantly increased UFO sightings around the world as more and more people open up their minds and are willing to accept the truths about UFOs. So we discussed yesterday that when the movie Krish was made, a lot of us said it's imagination. But truly, it has happened, whether people agree or whether. So the makers don't say it because people will think that it's mad, but it's actually based on truth. Some people cite them, some people understand the knowledge, some people talk about it. Even Om is a sound which is not a Hindu sound or Indian sound. It's a universal cosmic sound of energy. So people are realizing this now. People are answering, why do you think all of a sudden these Asaram Bapus or these in Punjab also, I forgot the name, yesterday only a verdict came for him. They're all behind the bars. All of a sudden people have stopped worshipping them and their truths are coming out that they have been abusing women and children. So now we're coming in this fully illuminated world. Yeah, Baba Ram Rahim, absolutely. This process of illumination and revelation of hidden truths started in the year 2003 will continue to get stronger as more and more light workers join the network. In any case, by the year 2012, when the descending cycle of the Kali Yuga ends, as does the long cycle of the Mayan calendar, the world will be fully illuminated and the truths would be visible in all areas. So I'm not saying that we've become fully illuminated, but pretty much we have been entering. Now we have entered the Dwapar Yuga and we are understanding there's a lot of energy. There's a lot of stuff happening around us. The revelations of a number of these truths will upset so many people with strong belief systems. They will even refuse to look at the evidence and will continue justifying the righteousness of their beliefs. So just because the truth is out does not mean that everyone will suddenly change their beliefs and give up the influence of the dark, their fears and their greed. In fact, the real battle between the forces, the light and the dark forces, will have just about begun. Now, UFOs become IFOs. As the illumination keeps increasing, one of the revelations will be the truth about UFOs and mankind's various contacts with aliens, as we call the higher level civilizations. Based on these revelations, many people will realize that they have been fooled by their governments and other authorities about the realities of existence of these cultures and so-called UFOs. They will then start believing in them and they will invite them to show themselves. Then certain UFOs will become themselves visible and overt contact with these higher level civilizations and they'll begin. Upon our request, they will then start sharing some of the advanced technologies to help rebuild a new society and a new world. So the world is evolving, it's going through a shift. And if we all are open and receptive to these learnings, to understanding that we are now seeing the light because we've now been entering it, because now we're open and receptive to it. It's not like pehle hum nahi, we could have entered, but we were closed for it. So I never knew that I was a light worker until one of my course seekers in the first batch told me about this book and presented this book to me. Then, of course, the other gurus and teachers of mine said, "You don't even know about this." I said, "No, you said it, but I never knew the terminology." So, what it's my now, some people are thanking me all the time. No, you don't have to thank me. This is my duty. As a light worker, it's my duty to make you see that there is light around. And your duty further on is to see, make other people see the light because you have found some light. So, we're all a network. But how are we all spreading the light? The masters are giving to the channelers, channelers are channeling through us, light workers to the students, and students to the further, their families and their friends and their loved ones. Together, we are a network, and the amount of light we spread around, that's the kind of light our loved ones and our circle of friends will see. Remember, we've all come here with two universal principles of love and light. And if we all can become the channels of love and light, how wonderful would our world be? I reached out to Asmeet to ask him for a favor just to spread his light somewhere, and he did it. So all of us have the potential of being the channels of light. So let's embrace this and let's just go forward and find the world through a shift. Until we do that, we will not be able to brighten up the world. Remember one thing, to brighten up the lives of your loved ones is easier, but to brighten the lives of strangers is the biggest service that you can do to mankind, affecting those people's lives that you have no idea. And that is truly niswarth. Swarth usme bhi hai, that you will elevate in your journey. Great. But then still that's a higher deed than something which is done for somebody that you love and you are connected. So we realize that UFOs will become IFOs. And we stop using the word aliens. Instead, we will refer to them by the name of their home planets, just like we refer to people from another country based on the name of their country. So the way we say Norwegians, Scandinavians, Indians, Pakistanis, or Bangladeshis, similarly, we'll start using a particular name for them because when we realize that there's so many planets and there's so many constellations, so many Milky Ways. Milky Way is just one of them. We know of one universe, but there's so many more universes. Now, a time of transition, the Armageddon and the apocalypse. Once the major secrets have been revealed, mankind will generally be divided into two opposing camps. Those who believe that the truths which are exposed, and those who wish to continue with their old belief system. बहुत clear division मिलेगा आपको. जो लोग नए thinking वाले होंगे, who believe yeah, this makes sense. And those who are guided by their own systems. And those belief systems have a lot of limiting beliefs. During this time, our visitors from the higher level civilizations will also be showing us the advanced technologies. Of course, those in the group second will not believe or be impressed by the technologies. They will only consider these as magic tricks. As mentioned earlier, timing is the hardest part of prediction. But according to the present possibilities in the year 2006, the best guess is that the real battle between these two groups will last for about 5 years till the end of 2017. Yeah, that's what Meenakshi, everyone's followers. Now, again, it's like who believes what, right? Everything doesn't go completely closed. And please understand, there's a lot of money involved in that. So these movements can't die because they're sitting on thousands of crores of rupees. So if he is not there, there's some guardians who are controlling that money, right? So they can't let the movement die any which ways. So it's not just those people, it's fully run. Now, based on the revelations of truths, vast number of people will lose faith in the way our current institutions are organized and run. With the new realizations, they will assist in breaking down these societal structures. So by the end of this time period, most of the existing institutional structures will be destroyed. So they can be replaced with new functional ones. So some of you will say, but they have not happened yet. 2017, he's saying. So yeah, the timeline is a little screwed up. This is the apocalypse as mentioned in the Bible. Now, DNA activates, the building phase begins. So why do I keep talking about our DNA being built up? At the end of this transition period, when all the existing structures have mainly been destroyed, those that have realized the truth with the help of our friends from the high level civilizations will embark on a massive building phase. Guess what? So this did not happen with the timeline that was planned. Hence came the corona to destroy a lot of structures because we did not destroy it the way it was meant to be. So it came so that now the intelligence can seep in our system. And now together, do you see there is a very clear division, pre-corona, post-corona? Why? Because we could not activate this then, so it is happening now. Now, all new systems will be built using the technology with the knowledge gained by our enhanced and activated DNA and the knowledge and advanced technologies provided by our friends. Now, since the dark shield around planet Earth will have disappeared by this time, a lot of light will be coming in. Oh, break ho gaya, so a lot of light is coming in. This light will further activate the DNA of those who choose to accept the light. So that's the reason why I keep saying, let us be the channels of light. अगर हम accept करेंगे light को, तो हमारा DNA activate होगा, we will be more progressive. The more light we accept, the more our DNA activates. The more our DNA activates, the more the universe we can access. The more the universe we can access, the more oneness we experience. The more oneness we experience, the more we can experience unconditional love. And in the end, it is all about unconditional love. I don't know how many of you related to this. There's a reason why people become the channels and why meditations or books get channeled through people, because their DNA is activated. And the bad news is that despite the DNA activation, people can slip into an abyss, not that much, but they can slip. So one has to keep meditating for the DNA activation to happen. The minute you miss, the way you have food to activate your body or to make it, you have to meditate also. If you don't meditate, if you don't find yourselves being a channel of love and light, nothing can work. Now the year 2029, the good times begin. The year 2029 sees the dawning of the new world. Only those who have chosen to transition to the fourth dimension will be on earth. I don't know how many of you again understand about this deeper meaning. So many of us have not chosen to transition. So what's happening? Because of corona or heart attack or something, we are dying. Because we are not ready to embrace this transition. So we die. We say, okay, we reincarnate later. The 1,000 years of peace starts. Mankind on earth becomes a higher level civilization. Now comes the good news. The Galactic Federation membership. The Galactic Federation is like the United Nations of the universe. So far, we on planet Earth have not even ever been invited for the membership because we are so low. Once our DNA activates, once we are in the higher dimension, once we are open and receptive, we will be invited as a planet to be a part of the Galactic Federation as a member, since we will learn how to accept all with love. And this is the time all of us will realize that we are able to travel intercontinent, interplanets, space travel, getting aligned, getting balanced, getting activated, meditating, higher level of life, where everything is all about love and light. So with this, we conclude this journey of many masters, many helpers, incredibly believable. One day I'd like to know from you all, someday, maybe today only, what did you actually believe in this book? Did you actually understand that we are making this transition, this shift? It was all about shift. So Rahul sir, thank you so much for showcasing this book. It's indeed a beautiful book. I'm not sure how many of us related to it, but the idea was to tell us that what is the world coming around? What is our role in it? How can we be the channels? Because so much is happening, but we are unaware of it. So just that awareness has come in. Rest completely depends upon us. Can I have someone to raise their hand to read about Today's affirmation, it's about emotions. It's releasing the emotional attachment to beliefs from the past so that they don't hurt you now.
When you hold your emotions down, hold things in.
Just 1 second, please. So we are going to release the emotional attachment to beliefs from the past so that they don't hurt us now. Very important for us to understand that we have our emotional attachments or we believe something from the past, but it's time to just let go so that we're no longer hurt. If we live fully in the moment, we cannot be hurt by the past no matter what it was. That's something all of us should realize, the power of now. Focus. That's what Stephen Scott says, is focus on the now. Refocus if required. So that in the past or the future doesn't trouble us. It's all about living in the now. That's why this affirmation of today, I'm always safe. So yeah, now Asmeet, you can, are you on unmute? Okay, Pratimaji, there it is. Yes, Pratimaji, please read.
Morning, everyone.
Good
Wonderful to
morning.
be here. I'm always safe. When you hold your emotions down or hold things in, you create havoc within you. Love yourself enough to allow yourself to feel your emotions. Addictions like alcohol mask the emotions so that you don't feel. Allow your feelings to come to the surface. You may have to process quite a bit of old stuff. Start doing some affirmations for yourself so that you can do this easily, smoothly, and comfortably. Affirm that you are willing to feel your true emotions, and most importantly, keep telling yourself that you are safe.
Oh,
Thank you.
wonderful. Thank you so much for reading and have bright presence this morning. So today, when we finished our beautiful journey about incredibly believable, it's all about light and us being the channels of light and coming from a light worker to each one of you. Let's just do the channel meditation, which is called the light meditation. It's been channeled by Nishant and it's been spoken by Bindu Myra. You already have that original voice record. I will just take you through in my simple, non-musical way. And let's just brace ourselves up for the light. So let's close our eyes, check the posture of our body. Let's tilt our head a bit towards the heavens above. Today we will anchor the light meditation and we will invoke the Shambhala light. Light, light in me. Light, light around me. Light, light that is a part of me. Light, light of which I am a part of. Light, light, light. Guide me, O light. Fill me, O light. Heal me, O light. Protect me, O light. I now surrender to you, O light. I am light. I am light. I am light. So be it. Whenever you practice this meditation, you not only shift a major shift in your energy field, but also in that of your surroundings. If you meditate on this light for 7 weeks consecutively, it can clear out the negative emotional baggage and the negative cords that drain your energy. It will help you harmonize your mind, body, and soul. This is our promise. The rishis are happy to help you because you are helping them in spreading the light and helping their sister Gaia, Mother Earth, who's hurt and troubled. Let the vision of a peaceful planet and universal oneness expand and the energy emerge. So be it. So be it. So be it. Steps for meditation. Let's request the divine masters and maharishis to guide us, support us, and protect us while we do this meditation. We can repeat the Shambhala light invocation. Light, light in me. Light, light around me. Light, light that I am part of. Light, light which I am part of. Light, light, light. Let's do 7 rounds of breathing to balance the Ida and the Pingala Nadis, which are the main left and right nerve channel systems carrying the cosmic energy in our energy body. Let's inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Visualize an open ocean of shimmering bluish white light above you and imagine your Brahmarandra, crown chakra, located at the top of your head. Open it up in the form of a 1,000-petaled white-colored lotus. See it. Start accepting the cosmic light of the masters in the form of the bluish white light. This energy is pouring into your Brahmarandra, the crown chakra. Let it pour down and fill your entire body, organ by organ. It is as if you're an empty bottle, and this light is filling your entire body, just as liquid flows in the bottle. It is filling you up from head to toe. At this point, the central nadi of your body, called Sushumna Nadi, is also getting filled with this brilliant healing light. After this light has filled your entire body, visualize it coming out from the pores of your skin. Imagine this light, which is now emanating from your skin, encompassing all that is around you. It is now glowing and covering your whole body in its brilliance. You are now sitting in a ball of healing white light, divine bluish white light, and radiating from about 7 feet in all directions from your body. Feel the energy rise. 1 feet, 2 feet, 3 feet, 4 feet, 5 feet, 6 feet, 7 feet. This 7 feet circumference, 7 above, 7 side, 7 below, you and the 7 feet ball of healing white bluish light is surrounding. And you are mentally reaching out to everyone. Now keep your hands on your heart and mentally start sending out ripples of this healing energy in the form of concentric circles around you. Visualize it as if you have become a radio station, transmitting waves of pure consciousness. Alternatively, you can repeat the universal laws as mantra, love, and light, while sending out ripples of healing energy These laws also have then become your intention of sending out the healing energy. Spread the radius of these ripples of light and let it fill your room, the space around your home, your neighborhood, your city, the state that you live in, your country, and the whole of Earth, and then the whole universe. This energy blesses and heals everything that comes in contact with it, illuminating the minds and hearts of everyone. It connects the whole of the universe. Keep spreading it until you're fully connected to the universe. This is how you anchor the spiritual light of healing energy and pure consciousness. Focus your intention on spreading the love, spreading the light, peace, and oneness in the universe by sending out these ripples of consciousness in the form of the spiritual light. This Vedic shloka can also be recited, Loka samastha sukhino bhavantu, which means let all planes of existence be comfortable, at poise, and contented. Let there be peace and harmony in the universe. So be it. Towards the end of the meditation, you can raise your hands in the blessing position and use the excess spiritual energy created to bless your health, your finances, your career, your relationships. You can also focus your intentions to bless specific areas on earth or specific people in your life going through a rough time. Bless them with courage, light, and compassion. After finishing the last step, mentally thank the masters, the Maharishis, and all the gurus for healing you and making you a divine channel of light. Rest for a minute or two, and then take a few deep breaths. After you've done that, you can slowly open your eyes with a big smile on your face. Before ending your meditation, you can also chant some spiritual mantras like Om Namah Shivaya or Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. You can repeat any specific affirmation for world peace or mentally pray. The world is healing. The world is going the spiritual way. The usual duration of this meditation could be anything between 10 minutes or stretched as per your comfort zone. Come out of your meditation when you're ready for it, after your deep breathing, after the chanting. Take your time. Be blessed. Enjoy the divinity of this light meditation. Let it always sink in your heart, in your mind, in your body, in your soul. Try to be silent as we conclude the session. Because the divine silence is right now the birthright of all of us. So be it. Be blessed.